Well, hello, hello, Las Vegas. This is Monique Buchanan, the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show. And I am so thankful and grateful that you have tuned in once again to hear one of my final shows for 2023. Listen, we're going to go ahead and just dive right into it. You guys know how I am. I get right to the point, and when you meet me, that's exactly how I am as well. Hey, what you see is what you get. I give it to you straight, and I let you make your own decisions. I hope you can appreciate that. So let's just jump on into it. You guys hear me say all the time, this is an amazing time to buy. I would go as far as saying this is the best time to buy since I have received my license, which was 8 years ago, you guys. 8 years ago, our market was warming up and getting hot, okay? But it has since then become extremely hot. So many people pouring in from all over the country, especially pouring in from California, which has obviously, you guys all know I'm not telling a story when I say this, it's drove our rent up, it's drove our home prices up, right? So I tried to tell my friends, hey, I seen the writing on the wall, 4 years ago. We are turning into LA, little LA, okay? So with that being said, once again, this is the best time because our market is so hot. We have one of the hottest markets in the whole nation as far as, home purchasing properties. So right now, for the first time in like almost 8 years, you guys, I'm getting the sellers to buy down and pay for my clients' closing costs. Shouts out to the Barrett family. I'm so happy to say that I gave them keys just yesterday. They are some KUMV listeners. She is super sweet. She said, Monique, you know what? I kept hearing you. I finally decided to give you a call, and I'm so happy that I did. So her and her beautiful family, the Barretts, they received their keys yesterday. So congratulations. They're going to have a home for Christmas, and I'm so happy about it. And by the way, they are going to be buying down their rates. So what I have been doing with all of my clients, me and my partner, you guys know, Mr. Anthony from Guaranteed Rate, we are taking the seller concessions that I negotiate, and we're taking that money and applying it towards buying down my clients' rates now, today. Today, I'm getting my clients into properties at as little as 5% rate. We hadn't seen that since, 2018-19. But that's what I'm doing today by negotiating costs from the seller and applying that towards my clients' rate today. Okay, so congratulations, the Barrett family. But anyways, let me give you guys a scenario. All right, most of you guys, if you already own a home, you bought at least 2-3 years ago, okay? I'm just going to pretend that you have a 2,300 square foot home, okay? That's about average. 2,300 square foot home, 3 bedrooms, nothing fancy, 2-car garage, 6,000 square foot lot, no pool, nothing fancy, you guys, all right? Right now, that can rent out for around $2,300, okay? You guys listen to me and you say, you know what, Monique, I want to upgrade. I want to get a bigger home. I would love to get one of those multi-gem properties I've heard you speak about. And if you didn't hear me speak about them, what it is, guys, is it's a 5-bedroom home that has a 1-bedroom apartment attached to the home. That is called a multi-gem. They are extremely popular right now, but they are also hard to find. But of course, your KUMV realtor knows exactly where they're at. I've got 3 in escrow right now, and I can lead you to those as well. They're over 3,800 square feet, 3-car garages, pavers, the nines, right? So that one of them, they have a single story and they have two stories. The single story is about 2,900 square feet, 3-car garage, right? And then the two stories, the smaller of the two is 3,800 square feet, 5-bedroom with the multi-gen 1-bedroom apartment basically attached that you can rent out or however you want to use it, you can use it. And by the way, it has its own air conditioning and heating system. So whoever is staying in there can control their own heat and air. So 5 bedrooms with a 1-bedroom apartment attached. That 3,800 square foot home is going for about $630,000. You have the larger of all 3, which is about 4,200 square feet. That is also a 5-bedroom with a 1-bedroom apartment attached. But that one is actually about 4,200 square feet. So it's bigger, 3-car garage. That one is going for about $680,000. You're basically, like I say, you're getting a 2-for-1 special here. You're buying 2 homes, basically, for the price of 1. right? So you have your primary that you're going to live in, which is the 5-bedroom portion, and then you can rent out the 1-bedroom apartment that will subsidize your mortgage. It will pay. You can rent that out for $1,500 a day, all day long. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So let's do the math. Let's just do the math. You guys know I get ahead of myself. I hope I don't go too fast. I'm going to try to slow down. Let's back up. So now I guide you. Me and my lender, Anthony, guide you. And we say, listen, we don't have to sell the property. We can sell the property that you currently live in, right? The house that maybe I sold you a couple years ago or whoever sold you. 2,300 square feet, no pool, regular 3-bedroom house, right? We can rent that out for about $2,300 a month, right? Now this new home is going to cost you around $4,000 a month mortgage. And you say, whoa, Monique, that sounds like so much money. I'm going to be going from, $1,500 mortgage that I'm paying right now to $4,000. That scares me. I'm nervous. That I don't know if I could do that. Well, let's take a little step and let's really look at the whole picture. Yes, your new mortgage is going to be $4,000, okay? Until you can refinance within a couple months, like the feds have announced. They plan on doing 6 rate cuts this year. So yes, you will be able to refinance and get a much lower rate. But remember, I'm also having the builders buy down your rate, so you might not even need to refinance. But let's stay on track. So mortgage is $4,000 for your big bad new home, right? You've got the current home that you're living in. You're going to rent that out for $2,300 a month, right? All day long. That's the average rent right now. So you got your $2,300. You got your $4,000 new mortgage. Well, guess what? After that $2,300, you say that your mortgage is $1,500. That leaves you $800. $800 in the positive, right? $800. So now your mortgage on your new multi-gen 5-bedroom home is no longer $4,000, right? It's $3,200 because you have $800 in the positive coming in from your rental, okay? So now it's $3,200. Now, you guys are going to really make me do some math on the air. But let's say that you rent that property out to make it easy for me, right? For $1,200, you rent that multi-gen, which is your 1-bedroom apartment, out for $1,200. Well, my goodness, wait a minute. Now we're going to take that $1,200 off of that $3,200. That leaves you $2,000. So you went from $4,000 a month for your 5-bedroom, 1-bedroom apartment attached to the house mortgage, $4,000. You were scared. You're like, there's no way I can do that. That's crazy. But now you're only paying $2,000 for a 5-bedroom home with a 1-bedroom apartment attached that you can rent out, right? So if you rent that out and you rent out your current home for $2,300, right? And you rent that out for $1,200, which I know you could probably get $1,400 for. But for easy math, we're just going to say $1,200 for the 1-bedroom, fully functional 1-bedroom apartment. You rent that out for $1,200. Guys, you guys are getting a $30,000 home for $2,000 a month. That's only $500 more than you're paying for your current home's mortgage. Hello? Is anybody home? Do you guys hear me? So if this interests you, I will walk you through it, you guys. And I've got more for you, but just chew on that for a minute. Okay, and this is just an example of you buying a property at around $630,000 that has a multi-gen. Okay, I think out the box. I think like an investor, and I want you guys to think like that too. Don't sit on your equity. Okay, you don't have to sell that property. I would love to sell it for you. I have no problem selling it for you. We'll be in an amazing position, but I don't think you're going to have a $2,000 mortgage because we're not going to get that $2,300 a month in for rent. So your mortgage might end up being $3,000, but that's still doable, for what you're getting. So let's stick with the current scenario. You're going to rent out your current property for $2,300 a month. It's just a regular 2,300 square foot home, 3 bedrooms. That's what it is. No pool. Then you're going to rent out the multi-unit, which is on your brand new home, which is attached to your brand new 5-bedroom home. You're going to rent that out for $1,200. Okay. So now that $4,000 a month payment that you had just went down to $2,000. So you're going to be having 3 doors. That's what we call it in the investor world. 3 doors. You've got 3 doors and you're going to be paying only $2,000. So not only are you only paying $2,000 for all this property and having 2 renters, but you're also going to be making equity, more equity than just that one house that you're sitting on right now. So let me tell you how that's going to look. So now let's just pretend most people are sitting on around $200,000 equity. We're going to pretend that on your first home that you're sitting in now, you're sitting on about $200,000 worth of equity. That's the one that we're going to rent out. Now you just purchased this big bad boy, right? $630,000. So on average, it goes up about 8%. We're just going to use 8% appreciation per year. Okay. So within the next 3 years, you could have an extra $120,000 worth of equity on the new home. Not to mention the next 3 years, around $72,000 more dollars on the rental property, the first home that you bought and you decided to rent out. So that means that within 3 years, you could have 2 renters and have made almost $400,000 more in equity than if you just sit on the house that you have now and just do nothing with it. Okay, guys, I hope you guys are grasping this because that's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't sit on your equity. Put those dollars to work. Get yourself that big bad house. This is the time. Why is this the time? Because for the first time in years, the builders are even contributing towards my clients' closing costs because I get in there and negotiate. All right. I make the rounds around the city. So no matter what, if you want to be in Henderson, you guys hear me talk a lot about North Las Vegas, and I talk a lot about that area because they have a lot of brand new properties going up out there because they have more land than anybody else in the city right now. So Southwest area, hey, I just closed a couple months in Mountain's Edge. I'm all over the city. So if you are looking for a realtor to assist you, my number is 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. WelcomeHomeWithMonique.com is my website. You guys can catch me on YouTube. Welcome Home with Monique. I am here to hold your hand and walk you through this process. So if that was a whole lot for you, don't worry. Me and my lender, Anthony, we've got your back. We're going to walk you through it. We're going to make it plain for you, lay it all out so you can see and make an educated decision for yourself. That's what I'm all about, you guys. Complete transparency. I want you to be in the know because there was one point when I was looking at properties before I was a realtor, I was not in the know and it was pretty darn scary. Let me tell you, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, what am I signing? So that is why I've created this show 3 years now, almost 4, just to educate you guys. And even if for some odd reason you don't use me, at least you heard me tell you how you can make this thing happen. But I hope you guys use me. All right, so let's just jump on back into it. I hope you grasp that. So I'm just going to wrap it up real quick just with this scenario. You buy a $630,000 home, rent out your current property for around $2,300. Then you go ahead and rent out if this property has a casita or a mother-in-law or AKA a multi-gen attached to it. You can rent that out typically if it's a 1-bedroom or even a casita actually where it's just a studio. $1,200 all day long. And to be honest with you, with this multi-gen example, I have clients that are going to be renting theirs out for $1,400 all day long. They'll get it. We're talking brand new. People love to get that rented out. And there you go. Your big bad $630,000 home is only going to cost you $2,000 a month, $500 more than you're paying for your current $1,500 mortgage. Hello. So anyways, my number again, 702-984-3700. Okay, guys. So now you can say, okay, well, Monique, I don't own a home. That sounds amazing, but I don't own one yet. How can I own one? Well, did you know if you have not owned a property within the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer? That's right. I don't care that you bought, 2008 or you signed for your mom on her house and she sold it back in, 2017. It doesn't matter. If you have been a renter, basically, for the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer. What does that mean for you? That means you can get those myths and, listening to people at work and and people telling you need to have at least, you need to save up 10 to 20% to put down. That's not true, you guys. That's absolutely not true. You don't have to put 10, 20% down. If you have it, great, by all means. But I even advise you, listen, if you can't put 20% down, keep the rest of that money in your pocket. Because what happens is when you put 20% down, it makes a significant change on your mortgage. And the reason for that is you get rid of something called your mortgage insurance premium, or your MIP or PMI, however you want to say it. Basically, when you don't put 20% down, they make you insure your own loan, and you pay for that every month, typically around $200 a month on an average property. So that's why you hear people saying, hey, you need to save up 20%. But you by no means need to have that. You can have a decent payment and still put 3.5% down. You need to have your credit at around 640, you guys. So shoot for a 640 credit score at least, okay? 640 credit score, you're in the door. At least 2 years on any job, not just the same job. Any job, 2 years. That's all you guys need. Don't listen to the myths, making you feel like you can't own a home. You definitely can own a home, and I will guide you through it. Me and my team will get you there. That's what I do. I'm the one that gets the deal done no matter what. I'll hold your hand. You don't have to be a slam dunk. Listen, you don't have to be a multimillionaire for me to help you, although I love to help you guys too. But my heart is in this, okay? So I like to help people. You may need a little help. I don't mind. Me and my team don't mind guiding you, giving you the directions. But listen, you have to do it though. You have to get it done, and then we'll get you into that home, okay? So anyways, 20% down is not necessary. 3.5% down is what you can put down if you are a first-time home buyer, aka you have been renting for the last 3 years. All right. So if you currently own a home and you want to do what I was talking about, which is rent out your property, you can turn around and buy again at 3%, as little as 3% down. So you don't have to put a huge amount down. So even with like that scenario, you're looking at maybe $18,000. That's all you have to save up for that $630,000 house. If you currently live in a property, you want me to go ahead and help you get it rented out and then take you over to get that multi-gen property or whatever home you want. You only have to put down 3 or 3.5% down because you're renting out that property, which will then free you up to purchase another one, just like you did the first time around. So once again, you do not have to put 10, 20% down. So just know that, all right? Now, multiple people can be on a loan. A lot of people don't know that. So you can have 5, hopefully 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever it is, multiple people up to 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. I don't know about 7, you guys. I don't know. I have to get verification from my lender, but you guys know what I mean. Multiple people. So if you have mom, dad, I just did a loan, mom, dad, son, and daughter, 4 people were on the loan and they got the property. Okay. So you just know that you can do that. You guys can use your 401k. In fact, it's a better investment to use your 401k because you're going to make that equity way faster than you're going to get that little, whatever it is, the little GameStop. I shouldn't say that because that went up real quick. I missed that boat. But you know what I mean? Whatever that little stock is that, they're investing in, you'll get a faster return on real estate all day long. All day long. So, but here's my point. You can pull out the money for your home and you will not be penalized in most cases. I've been in this business almost 10 years now. I have many clients that pulled out 401k. Now when they go to do their taxes the next year, they just have to show, hey, I actually did buy a home. Of course, you want to consult with your CPA, but you show that you bought a home that year with those with the funds that you pulled out, and you will not be penalized, is my understanding from at least my CPA and all my clients over the 10 years that have done that, okay? So you can do that. So if you don't have the money saved up, no worries. You could tap into that 401k and reinvest that money into a home for yourself that will make you equity, all right? And then just pay yourself back. So just know that, all right? You're going to hear people say, oh, it's not a good time to buy right now. You should wait until the rates drop. Well, guess what? The rates have already actually dropped a little bit, by the way. But the feds have announced that they have 6 rate cuts on the way this year, 2024. We have been telling you guys that for the last 6 months. You guys have heard me say over and over, hey, They're raising the rates right now, but they're going to drop them 2024. So what do you need to do? Don't wait on your hands like everybody else. Now you guys see it's coming to fruition. You don't believe me? Go on MSNBC. They announced it today on the news. Once again, feds are going to be dropping the rates this year. They're saying up to 6 times. Hello, that's what we said. It's happening, right? But what did I tell you guys to do? Let me go ahead and sell you a house right now and then just refinance the house when the rates drop. That way you secure the property, because if any of you guys have been looking on Zillow, you see that there's very few houses out there for sale. I mean, it is slim pickings, but guess what's going to happen when they drop the rates and money gets cheap? It's going to be even more slim pickings. We're talking next to none, because everybody that's sitting on their hands, listening to all those coworkers, they're about to jump into the market as soon as the rates drop. What is that going to do? It's going to do what it already did in 2019. It's going to have you paying $20,000, $30,000 over the list price of the house. Well, why, Monique? Why would that happen? Because when the rates drop, the prices of the homes shoot up. Why? Because I'm going to tell my sellers, hey, we've got 20 buyers trying to get this property. We have people lined up in front of my listing to buy this property. So why would I sell it for cheap? No way, no how. You know what I mean? We're going to cause a bidding war for this property. It's going to naturally happen. Okay, so just know that. We still have plenty of people stacking their cash right now waiting for those rates to drop. So unless you're cash heavy, my number is 702-984-3700. The writing's on the wall, 702-984-3700. And if you are a veteran, right now, my veterans are walking away with zero out of their pocket. There's zero down, right? And then I'm getting the builders to pay their closing costs. And one of my veterans just recently, I got her closing costs paid. She's paying zero down. I got her blinds put in her house from the builder from negotiating. I've got washer, dryer, refrigerator. I got the works. This is all going to stop. Builders are going to cut all this out as soon as they drop those rates, you guys. There's no incentive for them to give you anything. I remember, listen, there was waiting list. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there were waiting lists with builders. And I foresee that happening again, because guess what? Don't believe me. Check Zillow. See how many houses are out there. Not too many, you guys. So where's everybody going to turn? They're going to turn to the new homes. And guess what? Waiting list again. Please don't let this happen to you. Listen, please don't let it happen to you. I'm here to help. We'll get you a home now. You'll refinance. I'll get you to refinance as soon as the feds drop the rates to where you want it to be. We'll refinance. Or better yet, you'll do like all my clients right now. Go ahead and let me negotiate the sellers to pay your closing costs. We'll use those funds to buy down the rate today, right now. That's what I will do for you. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, I'm giving you some tips on how you can buy a property right now, and I can negotiate the builder to pay down your closing costs and buy your rate down, or the seller to do so. Okay, don't miss the boat, you guys, because like I said, as soon as they drop those rates, it's only obvious. Everybody's going to jump in, and that's going to cause the prices of the homes to skyrocket again. Okay, we're in a valley. There ain't a whole lot that we can do in this little valley. You know what I mean? So if you don't believe me, just check, like I said, check the news. They'll tell you the feds are planning on lowering the rates 6 times this year. 6 times. So that's going to shoot our prices even further up. So if you think the prices are high now, man, hold on to your seats. Okay. So anyways, you guys, once again, this is Monique Buchanan, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I was going over ways that you can buy. I want to make sure that you understand, if you have not purchased a home within the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer. That means you could put 3.5% down. If you're a veteran right now, using me and my lender, you're walking away with, in many cases, zero out of your pocket. My vets are getting checks back, okay, from their earnest money deposit. So it's a great time for veterans to purchase. I understand that you think that you might be deployed in a couple years, but why not be deployed and go with thousands of dollars in your pocket? I can sell your property that you bought, or we can rent it out. and you can continue to make that equity and also have that stream of income coming in, right? So just keep these thoughts, think about this stuff, Remember, you could put multiple people on a loan. You only need 2 years of work history to be approved. 640 credit score, you guys. That's not a high, crazy credit score. And remember, if you need to do a HELOC, let's say that you own a property now, put those dollars to work. You're sitting on $100,000, $200,000 of equity. Let's pull out a HELOC. That does not touch your current interest rate. It will not change your current 2.9% interest rate when you let me get you with my lender and he gives you a HELOC. Then we could pull out, that 20% if you want. $60,000, $70,000. We could pull it on out and go ahead and let me reinvest that for you. Get you another property so it can also make equity and you can continue to build your equity and have those funds to rely on for the future. All right. So, hey guys, I've got plenty to talk about. I didn't even get through half of what I want to talk to you guys about. One more thing, business owners, we can approve you with just your profit and loss statement. Okay. So there's tip earners. We can do a bank statement program. So if you're one of my fellow people in the industry from back in the day, my bartenders, my cocktail waitresses, just tip earners, my Uber drivers, bank statement programs. Okay. So start putting those tips in the bank. Even if you pull them right back out, I don't care. I just need you. We need to see it. We need to have a paper trail. So start putting your tips in the bank for at least 6 months, you guys. And then you can give me a call, 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. Okay, guys. Well, I hope that this really helped you. And if you're out and about today, I've got an open house at one of my properties. It is 6644 Lavender Lily, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, townhome with a garage. Hey, $284,000. All right. $5,000 is going to be credited to you from my sellers to go towards your closing costs. You heard me right. They're going to give you $5,000 to help you buy this property. 6644 Lavender Lily, 2-bedroom, 1-car garage, 2-bath in the Aliante area near shopping, near freeways, all that. Okay. For $284,000. From 10 to 1 today, open house, 6644 Lavender Lily. All right, you guys, have a blessed weekend. And until I hear from you, this is Monique Buchanan.